Price of 24-carat gold fell by rupees 10 in early trade today, with 10 grams of the precious metal trading at rupees 1,23,650 rupees. The price of silver tumbled by rupees 100, with 1 kilogram of the precious metal selling at rupees 1,61,900 rupees. Meanwhile, US gold prices remain steady as investors await minutes from the Federal Reserve's latest policy meeting and the US jobs report that could shed more light on the central bank's latest interest rate trajectory. Vice President of the India Bullion and Jewellers Association, Aksa Kamboj, has stated, and I quote, "Following a brief surge, gold prices have dipped marginally, which is indicative of the volatility seen in recent weeks. Demand for gold is still adjusting ahead of peak wedding season, even though global clues are staying constant." Let's now compare today's gold prices with yesterday's, last week and last year's prices as well. Now, you have to remember that gold prices are in the stabilization phase. They are correcting the prices after the high that they touched during Dhanteras and Diwali. Now, when we look at today's price versus yesterday, per gram 24-carat gold, today it stands at 12,365 rupees and yesterday it was at 12,366 rupees. 22-carat gold, yesterday it was at 11,335 rupees while today it's at 11,334 rupees. 18-carat gold is at today 9,273 rupees while yesterday it was at 9,272 rupees. So these are the slight fluctuations that we have been seeing over the past week. Last week, if we compare it, then we will see a greater price drop. On 12th November 2025, 24-carat gold stood at 12,551 rupees while today it stands at 12,365. 22-carat gold stood at 11,505 rupees last week. This is per gram, and today it's at 11,334. And 18-carat gold, last week it stood at 9,413 rupees and today it's at 9,273 rupees. So we can see that as compared to last week, there has been a slight reduction in the prices. If we compare it to last month, however, we will also see that there has been a significant amount of difference. So 24-carat gold per gram last month on 19th October 2025, it stood at 13,086 rupees and 22-carat gold stood at 11,995 rupees while 18-carat gold stood at 9,814 rupees. When you compare it to today's prices, they are down by a significant amount. You can see that it's almost around 500 to 1,000 rupees gaps on all sides. So now when we compare it to last year's prices, if we compare today's prices to last year, we will see, however, that there has been a uptick in this entire graph. So last year on 19th November 2024, 24-carat gold stood at 7,707 rupees and today it's at 12,365. 22-carat gold stood at 7,065 rupees while today it's at 11,334 rupees per gram. 18-carat gold stood at 5,781 rupees and today it's at 9,273 rupees. So whenever we compare it to a larger graph, when we look at larger time frames, we will see that there has been obviously that higher graph, that increasing graph in gold prices. Joining me on the broadcast is senior economist Dr. Sharad Kohli. Thank you, sir, for joining us. A very good morning to you. Today we are expecting a lot of motion in the US markets, sir, because we are expecting some payroll numbers on Thursday. Today we are expecting Fed minutes of the meeting. So there might be a shift that we have been seeing in the COMEX prices. Will that affect the stabilization that is occurring in the gold prices in India right now?
Well, good morning, Shivani, to you and the NewsX viewers. Well, obviously, the stabilization is not permanent, although it has stabilized between, I would say, $3,900 and it went up to $4,100 also, sometime at some point in last week. Well, as you rightly said, I think if the minutes of the meeting of the Fed indicate any cut in the interest rates in the next Fed meeting, which is going to be held in December, then obviously we will see the prices rising from here. And strengthening of the US dollar also, Shivani, has been a major reason why the gold prices have been a bit subdued, because if the dollar becomes strong, then gold being considered as an alternate international value, that fact becomes a bit subdued. So that is another reason. Geopolitical tensions are also building, Shivani. I would say the arms sales happening around the world, nuclear testing happening around the world, and Russia aggravating its attack on Ukraine, Ukraine fighting back. I think these geopolitical tensions are also counting and contributing to their gold prices. But long run, these are the very factors, Shivani, which will contribute to increase or decrease. But for now, they have stabilized, they have settled down. As far as Indian rupees are concerned, about 120,000 to 122, 23,000 per 10 grams for 24 carat. Those are the prices. I think it's a good opportunity for long-term investors. This is a safe haven investment when there are geopolitical and geo-economic risks. Well, the investors tend to hedge their risk by buying gold. So this is not an investment advice. You have to consult your investment advisors as far as the viewers are concerned. But this is the news analysis. But generally, it is being considered that 20% as part of gold in your portfolio is a good bet for long term. People who want to invest, a good opportunity because the prices have stabilized. We find people start buying when the prices are on the high. I think the good time to buy is when the prices have stabilized. There is a bit of correction right now. There is a correction. It is around 4,060 to $4,070, or in Indian rupees, 120,000 to 122,000. Good opportunity to buy it through SIP, Shivani, I would say. Do not put your entire chunk at one go. Use smaller lots and buy in those lots, and use ETF methods instead of going for digital gold, on which SEBI has been giving warnings. So yes, the prices have stabilized. All the factors which you spoke and which I analyzed are responsible, undoubtedly, Shivani.
So, do you see the gold prices further dipping across India, because we have the wedding season coming up? I understand that these factors do not potentially impact it in a very macro sense, but if the demand rises, do we see it, the gold prices rising, or do we see it falling further because of the situations in the US and other geopolitical factors?
Well, some minor movements may be seen because of the wedding season, and suddenly there's a demand surge. But those movements will only be to the tune of 500 to 1,000 rupees per 10 grams, Shivani. Not major. And we should not forget that people who are buying for wedding, they have also switched their demands to 18 carats, 14 carats, 9 carats. So it really doesn't impact the demand. If you're buying 9 carat or 14 carat, it doesn't really impact the demand because it is mixed with other metals. That's not pure gold. However, it serves the jewelry and ornamental purposes. No, that will not impact significantly. I think the international factors at COMEX, New York and London bullion market, they are going to majorly impact the prices up and down. But long-term trend, Shivani, is very much bullish. I think people who want to buy for jewelry also, I would suggest that they should not delay. These minor corrections and volatility will keep happening, but it will be very difficult to project. Suppose you postpone your buying for, let's say, next week. You don't know what happens next week internationally because there's a lot of news flow which backs gold prices. So I think it's better to go and buy at the earliest. Don't wait for, because there could be a surge also. There could be a correction, there could be a surge. These prices around 4,000 to $4,100 are reasonable prices. This is the base price, which is the new base price, which is now formed in the technical charts also. So to answer your question precisely, wedding season will only have a very, very minor effect on Indian gold prices, Shivani.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Kohli, for that valuable analysis today. Wish